Thank you, Mike. Our next company is Defiance Silver. We have Doug Cavey. He's the Vice President of Corporate Development. Defiance has multiple high-grade projects in Mexico, and welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. I have some tough shoes to fill with the team of Vizsla and GR Silver, but it's nice that we have a pretty Mexico-focused silver panel, as it is the world's largest primary silver mining country. So we, as a company, have we quote this Lassonde curve very frequently. We have two standalone projects, one at the beginning of the Lassonde curve, the discovery phase, and then one right in that crest as you climb into the resource development and construction phase. Our Zacatecas district project, located in central Mexico, Zacatecas state, largest silver producing state in Mexico, one of arguably the most important silver mining jurisdictions in the world. It is a classic epithermal system, silver rich, polymetallic, resource level, small starter resource. We've been doing a lot of drilling since then. We see the potential to expand on that resource. The mineralized envelope is much larger than the resource captures right now. Infrastructure is phenomenal. It's a 500-year-old mining jurisdiction with current modern operations within earshot of our resource area. We have the project under option. We own some ground outright, but the key thesis with us is to own as much of the properties as possible. So all of our properties are either under option for 100% or we outright own them 100%. Our Tepal project's located in Michoacan, Mexico. It's about 4.5 hours drive southwest of Guadalajara. Guadalajara is the second largest city in Mexico. Infrastructure is great as well. It's a little bit further along in its advancements. Pre-feasibility PEA level project has 1.8 million ounce measured indicated gold resource, 813 million pounds of copper, and we do have some additional resources available in the inferred category as well. Again, infrastructure is great. There's power to within 8 kilometers of the project, water on site, skilled local workforce, and it is outright owned 100% with an option that we've recently entered into purchase the 2.5% NSR on that asset as well. So who is the backbone of our team and why would you invest in us? So we have a robust resource base, both at Michoacan and Tepal, but as well a building resource base at San Antonio and Zacatecas. And tremendous exploration potential on both assets. And if you followed the story in the last 12 and 18 months now, you'll see that we have been both executing but delivering on high grade and district scale discovery success. And we have a team of people that have been doing this for a long time. Over 100 years of combined experience. Our management team in country has over 100 years of combined experience working in Mexico, taking projects of this tenor, this type of asset, from exploration to discovery, through to M&A, and sometimes mine development. So we get the cycle and we get the jurisdiction. When you combine that with our senior leadership and our directors, it's over 200 years of mine building and capital markets experience. Bit of a cliche, but we do have a strong leverage to precious metal prices. I think that any precious metal company will be saying that. Every $250 increase in the price of gold adds $100 million to the post-tax NPV of our Tepal project. Our shareholders, of course, are our most important people, and to work with them and to be aligned with them philosophically and commercially aligned with our shareholders is a driver of success. And about 40% of the stock is held by management and key shareholders, of which about 35% is institutionally held. And we're drilling right now. We've got a drill spinning on the Veta Grande. We just finished a 4,700 meter program, a district scale program up in the north on our Lucita property. We're take projects from, take targets from original concept through to their workup, ranking, and then drilling. And we have, I would likely say, a lot more targets than we do meters in our drill budget. Just a quick coverage of our share structure. So well-financed, fully financed for our exploration program. We have $12 million cash in the bank. Share price trading about 40 cents. We've been hit by the gale force winds of the market of the last 4 weeks, or the last 6 months, we'll say. So that gives us about an $89 million market cap, 221 million shares outstanding. We have a number of warrants that are in the money right now. They are, when do they, I think September, as they fall off in September. We also have another number, half of the amount of those warrants are out of the money right now as well. That gives us about 262 million shares fully diluted, and like I said, 35% institutionally held. One of the big and important factors is management skin in the game. We hear that a lot. Our CEO, Chris Wright, he's sitting in the back of the room right there. He's co-founder of a company called Windermere Capital. They own over 20% of the stock. So insiders of our company and management of our company are large shareholders, in fact, the largest shareholders of our company. So Zacatecas, and we will focus mostly on Zacatecas as we do have a pretty limited time window here. Zacatecas is arguably the most important silver mining jurisdiction in the world. It, any given year, produces over 50% of Mexico's silver. Mexico is, of course, the world's largest primary silver mining jurisdiction, largest silver producing country. Some flagship assets that are around our project, you've heard it referenced before. I know that the Vizsla team just hired one of the co-discoverers of Mag Silver's Juanicipio project. That's about 35 kilometers away from us. The Fresnillo Mining District, which is the world's largest primary silver mining complex, that's about 40 kilometers away from us. La Colorada, which is Pan American's flagship silver mining operations, about 100 kilometers away from us. We're about 150 kilometers south of Camino Rojo, which is Mexico's newest open pit gold mine, and just south of Camino Rojo is just south of Penasquito, which is one of Mexico's largest operating open pit gold mines. So this is one of the right addresses for silver, and we like to say the best place to look for silver is where it is. As I said, we have a variety of ownership of this asset, and I think it's quite important to understand how that ownership led to us putting together this land package. So originally, and is the legacy part of the project, which is where our resource area is, it's called the San Nicasio property. It's hosts the Veta Grande, part of the Veta Grande vein system. It's where we have our small starter resource. 2018, we acquired Mag Silver's Zacatecas District land holdings. When we acquired that, we also got a 1,300 square kilometer database. That database had about 50,000 meters of drill core in it. We probably have more drill core on neighboring assets than those neighbors have on those assets. So we were able to rank and put together a target list of what we thought were the most prospective pieces of land in the district. This district is very interesting in that it is a 1 billion ounce historical silver producer, but Fresnillo district is currently a 7 billion ounce historical silver producer that is in the same crustal position as us. It's got similar, if not the same geology. But in 1960s, Fresnillo was out of ore. They had no more mill feed. They were looking to feed a 6,000 ton per day mill. Things were looking pretty bleak for them at that time. After 15 years of exploration, they found the Santo Nino vein. Santo Nino was 3 meters wide of 1,000 grams per ton silver, 1.6 grams gold, and about 1% combined lead zinc, which is pretty remarkable when you hear the numbers that the Vizsla's quoting and GR is quoting, and how those spectacular grades are really going to drive the next phase of development in Mexico. But that's what it took to turn the lights back on. Up until that point, this district had produced more silver than the Fresnillo jurisdiction. Fresnillo, of course, made these discoveries, turned the lights back on. Mag Silver stepped into the district in 2003. They began doing district scale exploration, and they found the Juanicipio, they found the Valdecañas, Juanicipio, and that will be the world's largest primary silver mine. It should eclipse Fresnillo in the next 12 months when they reach full commercial production. So why does that matter? We know that discovery-focused geoscience works, and that's what we've been doing, and we've been having a lot of success with it. So as I said, we have a variety of ownership in how we put together this land package. In 2018, we acquired Mag Silver's ground. It's on strike with the Cozamin mine. Cozamine's a large underground operation owned by Capstone Mining. It's within earshot of our resource area. It's our closest next door neighbor. It's going to double production in the next 5 years, building a new tailings facility there. It's between us and the town. So after going through the database, we started to poke, well, where's the good sweet spots? Where are we going to find a Juanicipio lookalike? Where are we going to find another vein system in a pretty well-known jurisdiction? So we approached Pan American Silver after going through the database. We saw it as being the most prospective land package. And it was important for us because in early 2000s, 2007, 2008, 2009, Mag Silver was in here. They knew the potential was there to find a Juanicipio lookalike, or at least another vein system of grade and tenor size of Juanicipio. So the one place they couldn't explore was the Pan American ground. It was tightly held by Pan American. They were drilling it in 2012. They were drilling up in what we have, a very similar Panuco deposit, Panuco land package up in the north. But they'd never focused in on the central block, right where it says Lucita in the middle of the screen there. We recently did a 4,700 meter drill program. Every hole hit veining, which is great for a first pass drill program. And some of those holes came back with up to 3 kilograms per ton silver. So on a first pass drill program, that was quite a remarkable result. And if you had watched the Incomet presentation earlier, you'll see that this does fit in that sweet spot of if you're hitting good grade in your first pass drill program, it's going to lead to additional ounces being found. the kind of as a catalyst, an upcoming what's what with this project, we finished the drill program at Lucita about 2 months ago. We've started up another drill program just recently on the Veta Grande, following up on last year's successful drill program. But all the holes in yellow on the right-hand side of that map, that's what we've released. All the holes in purple on the left-hand side of the map, that's still to come out. So we have, systematically steps through this Palenque vein system in the Lucita Central block on about 1 kilometer centers, just to try and figure out where we are in the system, put our feet into it. We worked this up with about 6 months of mapping. We have about over 20 kilometers of vein strike length of targets on this Lucita Central asset alone. And our first holes came back with great results, mineable widths, mineable grades. And this picture of the rock there just shows you that you're in a very nice epithermal system and that there's a well-developed veining and there's well-developed mineralization, but also still quite high in the system. Pyrrhotite, proustite, an indicator mineral, that sulfosalt mineral that's still quite high in the system. So we think that there is some depth potential here. Most of the encountered veins, at least in this first pass of drilling, were less than 200 meters from surface. So we're still quite high in the system. We're still quite close to surface. In the bottom right-hand corner, I'll just show you, that's our district scale map, or our district scale land holding. So we're the second largest landowner in the district. The largest landowner in the district is currently drilling up in the north in what's called Pánuco. And why that's important for us is this Pánuco vein system is another well-known vein system, sets of veins. And the discoveries have been made by Zacatecas Silver. They're a really great team of people. They're doing a great job of exploring in this district. But the discoveries that have been made by them are right on our property boundary. And those veins extend onto our property for multiple kilometers and have been drilled in some places and have come back with some interesting results. We're looking for, again, a replica of whatever Veta Grande, or whether it's going to be the Lucita Central block, the Palenque vein system, ultimately just showing that this district is very underexplored as a result of the work that was done in Fresnillo in the 1970s. All eyes were off of Zacatecas in the 1970s. So same thing, we'll follow this, we'll work this up in the same manner that we work up all of our targets. So it's still early days, we have to follow a linear exploration path. We don't want to try and get the drill ahead of the groundwork. So teams are on site right now and we'll be working this up. But it's great that we have a neighbor spending money. We can sit on the shoulders and watch the success that they have. But really the anchor in the district and what we consider the pillar of our operation, the pillar of our Zacatecas programs, is the Veta Grande. Veta Grande is one of the most well-known vein systems in Mexico. It's a 150 million ounce historic producer. It has excellent infrastructure. Well, the whole project has excellent infrastructure, but you can drive to that drill site right there in 15 minutes from the town of Zacatecas. From an international airport, you can be on site within 20 minutes. It's right next door to Capstone's Cosamine mine. It's a beautiful, logistically favorable jurisdiction. We have a small starter resource, but like I said, we've done a lot of drilling since then, aimed at targeting what are the extents of the system. How deep does it go? How wide does it go? How long does it go? And I think we've been doing a good job of showing that there is a lot of resource expansion potential outside of this main principal resource area. So here's a cross-section through the deposit. It's, I don't have a pointer here, but really if you look up at the top of the screen there, the top of the purple, there's two blue holes there. That's about the limit of the resource estimate. And this last year, that's the drilling that we had done through the last year. Over the course of the last year, really showing that there's a lot of potential to expand on that current resource estimate. And at the bottom, that photo in the bottom left or bottom right corner there, that is the vein that we're still encountering at the bottom of the system. So we're still in a vein at depth, and we're still showing that there's mineralization potential at depth. Here's a long section through the deposit, like you're looking at a piece of cake. The light gray lines in the background, that's the historic mining infrastructure. Like I said, it's a 150 million ounce historic producer, and so there's a legacy of infrastructure that's in place, and I think that provides a lot of optionality for us. What we've been doing is trying to drill, at depth, figure out what's below all of this historical mining, but go in and put holes into where there are historical stopes from a long time ago, because the cutoff grades were way, way higher. And we're seeing there's a lot of relic mineralization outside of the historic stopes on the hanging wall and the footwall, the upside and the downside of these historic stopes. And we think that is really showing that the system was, it was of course mined at a very efficient rate. They got 150 million ounces of silver out of it, but that there is a lot of remnant mineralization in and around the historic workings and then below the historic workings as well. The photo at the top there, that's the drill. That just shows the infrastructure. Our highest grade drill hole in this part of the system, we drilled underneath a power line right next to an open pit. In the background, you can kind of see the small buildings in the background. That's a permitted 1,000 ton per day mill that our neighbors own. It's got a permitted tailings facility, and these underground workings link up to where they have a conveyor circuit. So there is a lot of things that you can do in order to advance this asset, and it does provide, I think, an upside in development, just given the jurisdiction and given the location of the assets. So what's our strategy? Discovery-focused geoscience works. Our proof of concept is Fresnillo, is Mag Silver, is Capstone's Cozamin mine. Capstone in 2003, when they started drilling at Cozamin, it was a small, high-grade lead, silver, zinc system, and then they got into the roots of that system, and there's over 1,000 meters of mineralization below that system. So our proof of concept is just not to reinvent the wheel, just do what everybody else has been doing in the district, and we're fully financed to do that, and have a team of people that have a lot of success in advancing assets like this through that timeline. And at the end of the day, what are we going to do? We're trying to add ounces to an already advanced asset. There's only two ways you can add ounces. You can buy them or you can drill them. And right now we're having a tremendous success rate of drilling them. So the catalyst to look for on the company, we had the 4,700 meter program that's been completed on the Lucita area. About half of those results are to come out in the near future. And then we have the drill going on the Zacatecas, or the main Veta Grande area, drilling the vein extents at depth along strike, and testing more regional targets outside of that. And so without running into the next presentation, I have a habit of doing that. If there's any questions, I'd love to hear them. If not, I welcome the panel up here.
Well, thanks, Doug. Much appreciated. And I visited the project actually back in November. So if you want to go see a site visit video, we're playing it from time to time outside, and it's also on our YouTube channel. So it's been super insightful site visit. Awesome. Thanks so much, Doug. I'll see you around.
Thank you very much.